Today on Trey Hart, I'm going to be talking about motivation. Stick around. Okay, we are coming towards the end of January. Did you make any New Year's resolutions? Well, I did too. How are you doing? Well, I hope you're not like me. I've already broke some of them and I haven't even got out of January. So as I'm reflecting, I was reflecting, well, why have I already broke some of the New Year's resolutions that I made and I haven't even got out of January? There were several answers to this, but one of them had a lot to do with motivation, and so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Now, there are two types of motivation. There are external motivation and internal motivation. So, an external motivation might be something like if you were running a race and the prize was $200 for the first one to finish, then that would be the motivation to be the first one to finish that race. Or for example, in our losing, like if you were being motivated to lose weight, if you were losing weight for somebody else, then that's an external motivation. There's another type of motivation. The second one is internal motivation. Internal motivation is the motivation that's rooted on our deepest values. So this is usually the motivation that would be, why do I personally want to lose weight? What are my goals for doing this? And so these are some of the things for internal motivation. But sometimes, especially, one of my goals for this year was to lose weight, and you'll be happy to know that as of today, I've lost 3 pounds, and hopefully it doesn't find me again. So one of my things was to lose weight. But sometimes you find that there's conflicting motivations. So what is conflicting motivations? Well, while my goal is to lose weight, when somebody gives you things like if they made you a cake, or if they made a cake, you might feel like obligated to eat it. You might feel, oh man, if I don't eat that cake, they're going to be upset. I'm going to upset their feelings. I'm going to disappoint them. So that's a conflicting motivation. So what is it conflicting with? Well, it's conflicting with the motivation that you have, for example, to lose weight. So how do you handle conflicting values? Well, one of the ways is by focusing on the core value. If your core value was to lose weight to help you feel better, then that would be more important to you than to say yes to the treat. So one of the things you could do is, use that opportunity by explaining why you are trying to lose weight. And, maybe you can thank them for making the brownies. And maybe you can even offer to work with them to maybe make a healthy snack or make something healthy the next time. One of the things that, I had to think about was when it came to my motivations, what am I afraid of? Why am I not doing this change? Am I afraid that, people won't accept my body image, or am I afraid that they'll look at me differently or treat me differently? What am I scared of? And so that's one of the things that you have to look at yourself. What things are you afraid of? Why haven't you made the change? And, why hasn't the motivation things been helpful, or why haven't you been motivated to make those changes? So what are you afraid of? And one of the things to realize is that any type of change can be challenging, no matter what it is. In my instance, I'm working on losing weight. Any type of change can be challenging. So what am I going to do? And I'm going to share with you some of the things that I'm personally going to do that will help me become more motivated. One of the things that I've learned about a long time ago, and I haven't really done, was journaling and writing letters. So one of the things I'm going to do is start journaling. And in my journal, I'm going to write myself a letter, and it's going to be addressed to me, and it's going to be how I feel about losing weight, my motivations for doing it. And this is primarily to encourage myself to do these things. So the second thing on my to-do list, or what am I going to do, is I'm going to reward myself. Now, the reward, you got to be careful when you set rewards for yourself. For example, my goal is to lose weight. So, and an inappropriate reward would be to set that I could have an extra size Snickers if I lose 3 pounds. That wouldn't be helpful to me to lose weight. So I'm going to set little rewards, things that is going to be helpful for me. And some of my things that I'm going to do on my to-do list is to practice gratitude. Now, one of the things that I told you about is journaling. So in my journal, I'm going to try to write down 2 things every day that I'm grateful for. Now here's the hitch. If you're going to do this along with me, here's the hitch. Is the 2 things need to change daily. Or try to change your 2 things daily. If you have 2 things that you're grateful for today, for instance, I'm grateful that I have a job, and I'm grateful that I'm able to support my family. Then the next day, it could be something different. And so, each of those days, as you journal and as you write down things, try to find things that you're grateful for. Write these things into your journal. One of the other things that a lot of people find helpful is a mantra in life. Now, if you've looked at my YouTube channel, and if you're familiar with the website that I used to have before my YouTube channel, before I converted it just to a YouTube channel, you would have known that one of my things, or one of the sayings that is attributed to Aristotle is, if I've seen further, it's because I stand on the shoulder of giants. And that's a good motto. But there's other mottos that you could develop for yourselves, or mottos that you could develop for yourselves. Something, I'm important, I'm worth it. One of my favorite films that I liked was a film called Cool Runnings, and one of the films, and part of the film, one of the teammates is standing in front of the mirror with the other teammate, getting him to quote the mantra. You know, and as his teammate is quoting the mantra or motto, it's helping him become more confident in what he can do, or more confident in himself. So that's what a motto should do, is make you feel more confident in yourself. So one of the things that you could do is set a motto or make a motto, and the motto can be something that's going to make you feel more confident or help you feel better about yourself. So one of the things I'm going to do is spend at least 30 minutes of my week writing down things about losing weight and how losing weight can help me in my life. Now, some of the other things that you can do, you know, is take a picture, and that's, you know, I do have a picture of myself somewhere, I'm sure, and post it up, you know, post it in places like the refrigerator or things that, you know, would remind you of your goal and remind you of things. One of the other things that you can do, and one of the things that me and my wife are incorporating, is both of us are going to work on keeping our weight down, and so is to have somebody to work on it with. So if you don't have somebody that, like, I'm fortunate to have a loving wife who cares about me, but if you don't have somebody that's around you, maybe you can incorporate an old friend or a pen pal and start writing to them and write to them and ask them to write you back. Ask them to write you little letters to say how they feel about you losing weight. And these are some of the motivation tips that I'm going to be doing, and this is something that you can go with me. So part of this video training that I'm going to be doing is going to be focused on weight loss, and as I'm doing this, I'm going to be losing weight and sharing some of the things I do with you, and hopefully you find it useful. So I will see you again, and hopefully you enjoyed this, and if you did, subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you. Bye.